read on your profiles about predictive communication. Would you be kind to share some information about predictive communication with us?
Sure, of course. So that was, I guess you could say, kind of an extension of this idea of the elements of interaction, in the sense that too often we have communication that's just sort of random. Like, you've probably felt like in the past you've spent like way too much time answering the same emails over and over and over again, the same questions. You've probably gotten emails or received emails that were like just, a whole book when you really just needed one snippet of information. Or maybe you're receiving like unrelated emails from businesses. I notice a lot now with retargeting and all of the AI technology that's going on in marketing is that the companies are like, oh yeah, they've been to our site. And then they start sending you things to buy and you're kind of going, I just bought that.
Yeah.
Like, hello. And then also sometimes you're getting too much information, not enough information, or it's the time of that information, right? It's sent out a month in advance and you really needed it like 2 days in advance. And so then it gets lost in your email box, etc. So I started looking at this idea based on the concept of predictive analytics, which is like using data to kind of predict when you do things or what forecast when are good times to do different marketing decisions, and said, well, this could be applied to our communication style too, because right now we're like just overwhelmed with TMI, right? Too much information all over the place. Mm-hmm. And so it's really, really helpful to think about planning the design of your communication so that it makes sense for the customer. So it's kind of I kind of look at 4 areas, or 4 questions you could say to ask when you're planning a communication process or an autoresponder process is, what am I really delivering? Like, not just about the product, but what am I really giving them? Am I giving them something about, brand connection, or am I giving them something more related to the product, or to just, another general message, right? What am I really delivering with this communication? And then I'm looking at also, how do they really feel about whatever it is I'm delivering? For example, something about a product. What do they think about it? And maybe that's a great time to ask in a survey type format or some kind of a survey market research. It's like, we want to understand how you're using the product, how you're thinking about it. What is it doing for you? What concerns, or what are you noticing that we could help improve upon the product? Things like that. And then the third question is also like related to the product or service. What is it they really need to know about it? So I think of the example of one time recently, I purchased something online, and during the shipping time, between the time of the order and the time I received it, they send out a couple of emails like, okay, great, you just bought this product. Well, let us tell you a little bit more about, how we're getting your product ready and where it's coming from and the timing and all of that. And then they sent another email with, hey, so you've probably seen some different instructions on how to use this product. So here's our suggestions for how you use this product or how you set it up. And I thought, well, wow, that's really what I'm thinking about right now. So perfect, you read my mind, right? And then the last question is kind of when, and this is about timing. When do they really need this info? And that has to do with more of like when you send what. Like, obviously, directly after an order, you want some kind of confirmation. Okay, so then do you wait another day, 2 days? however long to say something more about the product. So that timing becomes really essential. And I've also noticed this with my own students. If I send them the whole course up at the beginning, it's gone. But if I give them the relevant pieces at the relevant time, for example, hey, this assignment is now open, so here's some things you need to know about this assignment. And then I've answered a ton of questions right when they were thinking about those questions. And so, for me, it's like great because it reduces the overall emails that we're having to exchange back and forth. And sure. So same with customers and companies.